Hey y'all, it's Katie. Welcome back to From My Vanity and welcome to another First Impressions of video. We are going to be trying out this Glo Skin Beauty, their new foundation stick here. If you hear little noises in the background, my daughter's doing ABC Mouse and my son is watching her. So there's probably going to be a little bit of background noise for this video, but I did want to go ahead and sit down and film this First Impressions video because I'm going to try it out for the first time today. They sent me three colors. They sent me Bisque 2W, Sand 4W, and Buff 6W. I asked for all the warm tone shades because that's definitely what I am. We're gonna go with the middle one. We'll go with 4W and C, and then I'll go lighter, darker if I need it. I do have a beauty blender here. I don't know, would you guys prefer if I did like half and half? Last time I did a foundation stick, I just did what I typically would do, and I grabbed a stippling brush. So I'm gonna start with a stippling brush. We'll do on this side. I've already primed with my Smashbox Primerizer. Let me pull you guys in a little closer, just so you guys can see real well, and then also I've turned down the aperture, whatever, made it a little bit darker. I don't know if that's too dark, but I want you guys to be able to see texture and stuff real well. It looks a little dark. Let me turn it up a bit. We'll go with that. Let me know if it's too dark. Okay, I'm going to start with 4 sand. I'm going to go on this side. Oh, that looks pretty good. I'm going to do 3 stripes. It was funny when I did the Juvia's Place foundation first impression stick. I wanted to go real light that day with my makeup just because that's been my jive lately. And so when I was doing it, I was like, oh, I'm going real light, not too much. But then I was watching myself and I was like, you kind of went a little ham there, Katie. But anyway, I'm just going to be using the primerizer mainly because that's what I've been using recently for primer. The weather's starting to change here in Florida. So it's, you know, getting cooler and I feel like my skin's just not as oily as it usually is. So I feel like this is fine. That was a very light layer. As you can see, I just did this part, so, but it definitely gives a very light coverage. This doesn't, so for me personally, I feel like a sponge is best when you're wanting to like sheer out a full coverage. So when something's already light coverage, I tend to not want to use a sponge just because I feel like it can look splotchy for me. I don't know, it's just kind of my thing. So I think I'm just going to stick to the brush today. Let me know, like I said, let me know if you'd like me to get into the habit of using sponge on one side, stipple on the other. I just feel like it wouldn't look good. You know what, I'll do sponge on my forehead. That color is really nice though, look at that. Let me pull this back. I feel like it looks so dark, but we're gonna try that. I'm gonna brighten it up. I don't know if it's just my, no, my computer's not dark. Anyway, this is how it looks right now. It's very nice, very light coverage. So just to try it out, I'm gonna take this sponge. I think this is Eco Tools. Get closer. I like to be close. And let me just see what it looks like when I blend it out. I just don't want it to look splotchy. If you guys are shaking, Gideon's playing with my desk. I guess that's fine. I don't know, just sometimes I feel like the water in the sponge can make a sheer foundation look kind of weird. Or just maybe shear it out too much to make it pointless. So there's what we, oops, I just dropped my sponge. There's what we look like. It's fine, but I feel like I prefer, I don't know, I personally have been in a kick of brushes unless it's a very heavy type of foundation. Like full coverage foundation, I've really been enjoying a sponge, but if it's light to medium, I really love this Smashbox Stipple brush. I think it's one of my favorite foundation brushes at the moment. Just because I personally love to stipple my foundation in. I feel like it keeps it from looking too heavy and gives it a very like skin-like finish. So I'm just going to do brush. I think I did 3 and then a little extra on the other side. So I am going to just use my stipple brush for both sides. Let me know if that annoys you, or you know, if you would find it more informative for me to use a sponge and a brush regardless of the foundation coverage. But I think if you guys are cool with it, I'll just do heavy coverage foundations. I'll do sponge on one side, brush on the other side, and then light, I'll just do a brush. Hold you, I'll hold you. Okay, so here is one light layer, and I think that's all I'm going to do today. I know I've said this before, but I've been in a real... Oh, you're going to put the lid on it? Hang on, put the lid on this one, Bubba. I need this one. I've been in a kick of a lot lighter coverage. I think I'll do a couple more taps swipes, whatever you want to call it, on my cheeks, just because that's where I feel like I want the most coverage when it comes to color, just because that's where I'm reddest, that and around my nose. But I don't. You put the cover on. Thank you. Oh dear. Let's see. You did. Now you need to push it close. So anyway, I've been in a kick of light foundation, so I hope this isn't too boring that I'm not building it up to full coverage. But I really like this. This looks really nice on my skin. It feels sticky, but not as like sticky wet as the Juvia's Place one, so that's nice. Let's put on a little bit of concealer. Just going to use my YSL one because it's a wand that I can easily apply. I've really been enjoying the Milani concealer. I use that in my Juvia's Place First Impressions, but it's a little tricky to apply, and I got someone in my lap today. So I'm just going to do that. Don't want too much coverage. You can you screw that one on for me, bub? There we go. Thanks, little man. I feel like in the viewfinder and in real life, I think my foundation looks a touch light. So hopefully the setting powder and bronzer and all that will even it out. So maybe next time I try this, I'll have to do this 6W. Yes, ma'am? Okay. This is blending okay. I don't love it. I don't love it where the foundation and concealer are meeting. That could be the YSL's fault. That could be the stick's fault. But I just feel like on this side, it looks a little heavy here. Hopefully I'm in frame. And I'm just going to take a touch of this Power Play by CoverFX concealer. I don't know if it's because I'm doing the blue eyes today, playing with the Whalesong palette. Having so much fun with that palette. But I just feel like my under eyes look particularly blue. Thank you. Blue. I'm just going to be using the CoverFX Perfect Setting Powder. I don't want to do too much, like interfere too much by applying a heavy powder or anything on top of this. I want to kind of see how this foundation does on its own today. So I'm going to just use a very light translucent powder for both my under eyes. Alright, so here's where we are at. My inner corner's watering, probably because I was somewhat stabbing my eye as I was blending out that concealer, but one-handed problems again. Okay, so I really like how it set. It all looks really nice. I like how lightweight it is. Again, I've been in a kick of lightweight foundations. I just feel like I don't have to worry so much throughout the day with it fading, and particularly for me around my mouth and my nose just looking splotchy or disappearing, and then you have like a bare this area and then like nice coverage, flawless cheeks. I haven't been a fan of that, so I've been going more lightweight. Go ahead, put it down. I'm going to finish out the rest of my makeup, and then we'll take some close-ups, and yeah, I think that'll be it. Don't think I showed you, but I just finished up with the Whalesong palette from Menagerie Cosmetics, trying to get my eye to stop watering because I want to try these new magnetic lashes from Ardell. I just got them, so maybe my next check-in, which I am going to try to do a check-in halfway through the day at their nap time. So it's 9:20. I forgot that last time too. I'm supposed to show. Let's see if I can show this without showing all my private stuff. It's 9:20 right now, October 18th. 9:20 right now. I'm going to try to come in around probably 2 o'clock when I put both of my kids down for bed and give you guys an update. And then if things are going well at the end of the night, maybe around 6 or so. And then I'll still include below my comments in my pinned comments when I can remember to actually include them when I upload a video. I'll give you the final thoughts just because I'll probably wear it past 6 o'clock, and I figured I'll let you know what it looks like at the very end of the night, right before I go to wash off. Like I said, it went on really nice. It feels really light on my face. It doesn't like not feel like I'm wearing makeup, if that makes sense. Like I feel like I'm wearing makeup, but it's very light, and I like how light coverage it is. I think it's a touch light for my skin tone, but it doesn't matter. We'll make it work. Setting it helped. I still feel like it feels a little sticky, so that kind of is concerning because I do get a little bit oily through the day, but I powdered pretty heavily. I'm powdering under here just because that feels the stickiest. Maybe I didn't set it very well. I don't know. It feels a little sticky even with the powder on top, and usually when I powder, like, I mean, it feels soft, but there's just a little bit of stick to it. So I don't know. Usually when I powder, that totally takes care of the problem. But anyway, and I didn't update when I put the Smashbox Power Play concealer on top. I felt like it did a better job blending in. So I think it might just be that YSL concealer. It is getting old, or maybe it just didn't like that formula. But this seemed to correct the issues I was seeing. So I think that is it. I'll have everything I used on my face listed down below. But yeah, I will see you in my next check-in. So after I said goodbye, I'm sure you guys heard in the beginning part of this video, but it was a little crazy, both kids up and whatnot. After I said goodbye, I shut my camera off and just walked away without doing a close-up. So I have no footage of what it looked like up close at the start of my day. I am such a fantastic beauty YouTuber, but I did realize, it took me a little while, we ended up going out to a shop at the mall, had to get some things, and we went there. I think we were gone, I came back. It was like 9:20 when I left my table, or 9:30 when I left my table. I came back around 11 and realized around 11:30 that I didn't do a close-up, so I'm going to stick it in now. So this is our only start footage. I am so very sorry. I feel so terrible, but it is what it is. I didn't want to just scrap this footage and move on, and I figured I would still give you guys the wear test and just show you from, 2 hours into it and on. But anyway, it is what it is. So that is what we're starting from. That was 2 hours into it. I thought it still looked fine. It was feeling a little heavy, and now it feels the same, but it definitely feels a bit heavier on my skin. Like touching my face feels the same, but I feel my foundation a bit more. And that's something with the Juvia's Place, the stick foundation. I felt like that was very light on my skin. And as I wore it throughout the day, I started to see, or not see, but feel a little bit, but nothing major. But this foundation, I'm definitely like, I got foundation on. So anyway, I'll stick up close-ups here as I kind of give you guys a little rundown of my thoughts right now. But I definitely think it's looking a little cakey around my nose. I think that's kind of like, quote-unquote, my problem area right now. And also it's settling into the lines of my forehead, which I didn't take a beginning, or 2 hours in. I didn't take a close-up shot of my forehead, which I'm going to try to start to remember to do for foundation wear test, because that's definitely where I have the most defined lines, is in my forehead. And it's definitely settling in, and when I kind of pull on my lines to smooth them out, there's just this cake line running through of makeup built up in there. So yeah, there's some lines on my forehead. A little bit of settling into the lines around my mouth. Not bad, but yeah, it's around my nose that I like it the least. It's definitely kind of wearing off a bit, but also like settling into the corners. It's wearing off kind of where I touch and stuff like that. I didn't look to see. Yeah, I definitely feel like it comes off a bit. Of course, that could be the powder, I suppose, but just light touching, it doesn't feel like it's coming off. I'm not super shiny. My chin looks a little caked on and like it's getting a little oily, but that's really it. I think that's going to be my update for now. Oh yeah, once again, terrible YouTuber. It's 1:36 right now, so it's been about 4 hours into this wear test, and I am going to try to come back around 6 or so. We'll see how the day goes, but just to give you my final rundown and just give you one more shot of it, and let's go ahead and jump into that right now. Alright, so I'm here for my final check-in. My husband is on his way, and I actually don't have any notifications. But anyway, it is 5:15, so just shy of 8 hours, I think. Let's see, 9, 30, 10, 30, 11, 30, 12, 30, 1, 30, 2, 30, 3, 4, 30, 5, 30. Yeah, just shy of 8 hours. Yes, I had to do the math. But this is what we're looking like. My eye's a little rough. I gave up on the magnetic lashes, and then I got something in my right eye, so I'm a bit of a hot mess, but that's not what this video is about. Let's look at the foundation. I'm going to go ahead and stick up a close-up here. So I feel like there's not a whole lot of change. It's definitely worn off around my nose. I'm someone who tends to touch my nose a lot throughout the day, wipe at it, whatnot. It's still settling into the lines around my forehead, even though I kind of tapped them out at my last check-in. And it's kind of wearing off in a splotchy manner around my mouth, the crevices of my nose, and a little on my chin. Not bad. My chin looks okay, but I feel like on the top part of my lip here, and then right underneath my nose and whatnot, it just looks a little splotchy weird. I'm very neutral on this foundation. It doesn't feel any heavier on the skin, so that's nice. I haven't done a lot of sweating today, so that's something to take into consideration. I don't really see the lines in my face, but also it's kind of worn off mostly where the lines right here go, so that's something, I don't know. This is definitely foundation I'll have to try more to get a really good feel for it. But today, I mean, it was nice. It wasn't bad. I wish it held up a bit nicer around my mouth area. I mean, I feel like my nose by the end of the day is always pretty much gone just because I kind of wipe at it and stuff so much. I don't know. For me, a big stickler for foundations is to last long enough throughout the day, a good long day, and not, settle into my lines and then wear off splotchily. So this, while it's doing that a little bit, it's not that bad, so it's like right on the verge. So I don't know, I'm so about this. Definitely will have to bring it into my makeup collection and give it a good try. Yeah, those are my first impressions. As I said, make sure you check down below. I'm sure you've heard it enough this video. For my full 8-hour wear test, I'll get really up close in the mirror and make sure before I take my makeup off, when everything's calm and quiet, make sure I don't have any other thoughts. But like I said, you guys saw the close-up of my face, so let me know your thoughts, and also let me know if there's any way I can improve on these first impressions. I don't plan on being any more detailed or thorough or informative about the product, just because when I get ready in the morning, it's a little crazy and hectic sometimes. So I'm just wanting to put it on and give you my first impression thoughts. So I'm sorry I can't, you know, go into detail about product launch, product price, what's in the product, that kind of thing. But anyway, yeah, I think that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, this was interesting doing check-ins because it's not something I usually do. So let me know if you guys found that helpful and informative and worth the extra effort and energy that goes into doing these, and if you guys don't mind the extra craziness around me when I do these. So yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye guys.